Do you remember back in December when we were anticipating version 11 software update to come out across the fleet? Well, unfortunately, because of delays due to COVID, it ended up being that version 11 would not come for some time. Well, here's some really good news. Thanks to Friday the Dog 111 on Reddit, we are getting our first look at what version 11 is going to look like, and it looks pretty good. Now, late last year, Elon Musk was tweeting about version 11 and trying to get us all hyped about it, talking about it being fire, and of course, expectations were high. Now, when version 11 didn't end up rolling out at the end of last year, people were disappointed, but I think the wait is going to be well worth it. And with this first look, I think that you're going to like what version 11 is looking like on the screen. Now, before we dive in too much, I want to specify it appears that this particular car is a new refreshed Model S, and perhaps it's the Model S Plaid version. So this is not the Plaid Plus with the new battery cells. This would be the Plaid version that is set for delivery here in the coming days. We're already seeing trucks full of refreshed Model S's shipping across the country right now. The first Model S refresh delivery is imminent, and it's going to be exciting to get a much more in-depth look at what they're going to look like. So with that, Friday the Dog 111 was at a supercharger and two Model S's pulled up that were refreshed models. I don't know how, but he was able to get in the car. Perhaps they let him in the car, but he got some good pictures and he got a good video of the interface. This is pretty exciting because we're getting a glimpse of not just what it looks like, but how it kind of behaves. We're also getting a quick glimpse of some of the options that you're going to see in the Model S Plaid. All right, so let's take a quick look at what this interface is going to look like. As you can see, the layout is more traditional, at least for what's out there today. This is more like what we're used to with having cards on the screen. So on the left-hand side on the top, you can see a card for the navigation, and it looks like this is kind of the home screen. So that navigation is going to be much smaller on the home screen at least. I would anticipate that you can select the navigation and it'll bring it up to be the full screen. Just below that, there are some options, it looks like, where you can select different apps like the mobile app. It looks like there's possibly a phone, maybe a schedule. So you should be able to access information pretty quickly here on the home screen by selecting through a couple of options. And then on the right half of the screen is all the audio. So the music you're listening to, quick select, all that stuff. Now looking across the bottom of the screen, it looks like this is where all the comfort is going to be located. So we're talking about heated seats, your HVAC selections for fan speed and temperature, and then of course that also includes your defrost, and then all the way on the right, your volume up and down. So this is kind of a nice clean look. I like this home screen idea where you can see multiple things all at the same time. This is going to make it a little bit easier to use when you're going through the various menus of the car. Now what is cool is, just like in the car today, you select the car emblem. Now you actually just press the car. So this 3D model of the car, you press it and this opens up the different menus inside of the car. With this particular one, we can see the menus that you can choose from are all roughly the same as what we have today. So nothing stands out here. However, when we get into the driver menu, there's some pretty cool things we're seeing here. On the acceleration side, we're getting now Chill, Sport, and Insane. And again, we believe this is a Model S Plaid, so those may not be the same options for all cars. But in addition, we're seeing drag strip mode, which this is new, and we're not exactly sure what exactly this means yet. I would anticipate this is going to be a menu that once you select this, it's going to pull up a new screen and it'll clock your quarter mile time, your 0 to 60, various other things, but it's very likely going to also include a launch mode. There's a lot of performance cars that come with launch mode, and it basically allows you to have your foot on the accelerator. The car is going to squat down and it's going to be prepared for takeoff. So as soon as you do whatever it is you need to do to launch, it's going to launch the best it possibly can from a standstill. This is pretty cool. I'm sure it's going to be insane acceleration in this car at just under 2 seconds, 0 to 60. It's insane fast. You can't even wrap your head around how fast that is. So this is going to be really cool to see in practice out in the wild. One of the other things that's very interesting that I'm looking at here is Smart Shift is selectable, meaning that you're probably going to be able to turn Smart Shift on and off so that you can either have it engaged and the car will figure out which gear it needs to be in, or you can turn it off, meaning you will manually select the gears. Now, there is no stock in this car where you can select a gear, so we still don't know where exactly it's going to be. It's likely just going to be on the screen, so you'll select the gear there. But it is nice to know you're not limited to only having the car decide what gear it needs to be in by itself. So this clears up some of that confusion from the very beginning when we heard about this. Then of course there's slip start. Of course, as a standard option, it's going to help with low traction situations. And then finally, a new option, media on device. So it's not clear exactly what all is going to be able to pull from your device. I would certainly think you can have music queued up on your media device, but can you now include movies? I think that there's a really good chance that this could finally be available in a Tesla where you can load movies on your thumb drive and watch them on the screen in the car. This would be pretty cool. So we're also finding out some more information. The steering wheel is going to be an option at time of order. So we still don't know if that's going to be as soon as you submit the order or if it's going to be at the service center. But the good news is you're not stuck with just a yoke steering wheel. So thank goodness for people like me who think the yoke steering wheel is cool, but prefer the more traditional full steering wheel. So looking at the steering wheel, here's what we can see so far. The turn signals are there. You can select the light, the horn, the washer fluid for your wiper blades, and then of course, microphone for all the voice activated commands are all right there on the steering wheel. So nothing too crazy there. We kind of knew what was going to be there from leaked images some time ago. That's kind of what we're looking at. And then finally, there's one more nugget for the Model S that we're finding out about. It wasn't that long ago, drone footage was released that showed potentially a third row in a Model S in a lot. It was a refresh model, but we didn't really know exactly 100% sure, is there going to be a 7-seat option? Yesterday on Twitter, Elon Musk did confirm there will be a 7-passenger Model S available. Based on the drone footage, this appears to be a forward-facing rear seat, unlike the rear-facing it used to have. This will be more in line with what's available in the Model Y today, so it should be interesting to see what this looks like in execution. Is it going to be more usable than the Model Y? We don't know yet because we don't have any real images other than this drone footage. I'm really excited to see this. It may be an alternate option that could make the Model S even more usable for people. We'll just have to wait and see. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, give it the thumbs up. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram @BeardedTesla. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.